So a couple of criteria we go through for determining when to use robots in our system is volume. Obviously, you need to have a high volume. The next consideration is what type of paint are we using, and do we have that paint available to the robot? So we generally look at volumes, part complexity, and do we have the equipment to add another color, or are we going to have to add equipment to make that color available? And all those things kind of blend together to make a decision on whether or not we move forward with robotics or we hand shoot. I'd probably say in the past year, we were probably half and half as far as robotic and manual. The programming on the robotics is not too bad. I always ask, how would you paint this? What would you do to get this covered? And that's the basis for where I start. We're doing the same thing a person would do, we're just doing it without the person. From there, then we usually just roll in a bar full of product and I'll start programming that product in. Once we get that pathway honed in, then we actually flip it over to full auto and let the system take it from there. What I've learned is that, sometimes there's a lot of copying and pasting that can go on because you have other pathways with different products that will work well on other products and it can shorten your programming time. The information that's passed to the equipment within our system is first done when we hit the load button. When we load a carrier and we release it to the system, the PLC puts all the information on that carrier. What wash pressures to use, does it get a dry off oven, does it go to the prime booth, does it go to the top coat booth, how long is the cure, all those parameters. And within that paint booth set of data is what robot job am I running and what color am I using within that robot. So there's a couple of proximity switches that the carriers pass over that when they hit that information is fed to our robot controller. Once that information is fed to that controller, as soon as that carrier comes in and is in position in the paint booth, then that controller takes over and basically the PLC releases it to some degree from the line and the robot controller is driving that process. Once it's done, then it'll kick it back out to the main system and send it on to the top coat and then eventually to cure. So all that information rides around with the carriers as it goes through the system, and then as that carrier encounters each piece of equipment, that data is utilized so the system knows what to do with it. But the robotics has been a pretty nice addition to our system, and it's allowed us to run some pretty high volumes on products.